Are there any science fiction writers who are as respected and revered as Ray Bradbury?
Well, what about Robert Heinlein and Isaac Asimov?
Okay, how about writers who are still alive?
No.
I thought not. Simon & Schuster Interactive is paying proper tribute to this brilliant mind with the recently released Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles, the adventure game.
Long title.
The title is not just long, it's a bit misleading.
Ray Bradbury didn't write The Martian Chronicles?
Of course he did. The misleading part is that this is more than just an adventure game. It's a full-fledged multimedia retrospective of an awesome short story collection.
But there is actually a game in there, right?
Well, yes, but it's actually a bit disappointing up against the other cool stuff in this package.
Okay, let's talk about the cool stuff first then.
First of all, there's a section called Chronicles that takes some really good snippets from the Martian Chronicles book and gives them the dramatic reading treatment with some really nifty animations on the screen.
The plots to Bradbury short stories can almost always be summed up in one or two short sentences, so it's easy to forget what a master of language this man is. These segments are really great reminders.
And then, of course, there's the video interview with Ray himself, talking about the initial release of the book, critical and fan reactions, productions of the future, stuff like that.
Wow, they have a little video window and you can pick a subject from that stack of books on the right. It's an interactive interview. Why didn't we think of that?
The actual game does have some really good ideas in it.
You play a human explorer on the third expedition to Mars, looking for evidence of what made the first two expeditions disappear.
And that's about all you know, too. The rest of the game is Myst-like in structure, where you have to look around and figure things out as you go along.
And there's a lot of really great-looking rendered scenery to look at, too. The artists at Byron Preiss Multimedia did a good job of bringing Bradbury's mysterious Martian vision to life.
To help along in your mission, you have a number of tools that you can pick up in your rocket before exploring on the surface of the Red Planet.
That's Mars, right?
Good call. You get a helmet that alerts you when you should be paying attention, a scanner that lets you translate Martian hieroglyphics and see through telepathic illusions, a mapping tool that compares your current location to the maps made by the earlier expeditions, and a data recorder that can transmit any picture back to your ship for future reference.
Each of these things cuts into your energy supply, and the more of them you carry, the more energy you expend. But when you start to run low, you can instantly transport back to your ship to recharge, so it's not a huge problem to carry everything at once.
But there are some definite omissions and problems with the game design.
For one thing, The Martian Chronicles bears that frightening logo, made with Macromedia.
Yay!
That might not sound like a big deal, but some of the graphics have non-stop motion loops, and the cursor only reappears for a fraction of a second, so you have to click fast.
The motion is not particularly smooth, and the waiting times are long. But most annoying of all, if there's anything moving on the screen, your cursor disappears, and you can't go anywhere until it comes back. Another particularly bad bit of design has to do with how the tools are used. I mean, you've got this dandy scanner that lets you translate all the funky hieroglyphics on the walls.
And incidentally, the scanning effect looks great. It's really cool.
Stop giving them compliments. I'm bitching now.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway, you've got this scanner and you can use it anywhere you find Martian writings.
You can also take a picture of the hieroglyphics and transmit it back to your ship.
Right, but when you look at these pictures back on board, you can translate them there. That's just silly. But while these things are a little annoying, they're hardly unforgivable. Fans of Ray Bradbury will love the chance to walk around on his version of Mars.
And when you consider all the other cool stuff on this CD, it's definitely a worthwhile purchase for fans. And if you're not a fan, the cool story segments could turn you into one. I wonder if there's anything in the works based on Fahrenheit 451.